and welcome to Learning with Lulu. In today's video we are going to be covering really quickly chapter 14 in Frankenstein. So chapter 14, we learn how the family, the cottagers, came to be in their little German cottage. So their names are, the father is Lacey, the brothers Felix, and the sister is Agatha. They were really well off and financially abundant, living in Paris before. They were well known and well liked. Safie, her father, was also in Paris at the time, and he was a merchant, and he ended up being condemned by the courts, and many people were upset about this because they're like, he hasn't done anything. We think he's just being, essentially that the government's just being prejudiced against him because of his religion. It's describing him as a Turk and a follower of Muhammad, which is, so he's Muslim. And so Felix feels compelled to help this man who has been condemned and put in prison, and so he does. He figures out a way to help him escape, and the merchant, the Turkish merchant, he, at one time, Felix is there and Safie are there, and he realizes, oh, there's a connection between these two. So he says, oh, like, you two will marry once you get me out of here. He's not meaning any of this. As it turns out, he doesn't want his daughter to marry a Christian Parisian. But at the time, he's just kind of like, whatever's gonna help me get out of here. So Felix helps him get out. They are in Italy for a time, and we learn that Safie's mother was a Christian and that she was put into slavery in her father's country, and he took a liking to her, so he married her, and that's how Safie came to be. Her mother's a Christian, her father is Muslim. I get the sense that she was in a harem. So I believe Safie was in a harem, and she describes how she doesn't want to go back to her father's country where, you know, she isn't really treated as much of an equal as she has been with Felix and in Europe with them. So Safie doesn't want to go back with her father. Felix learns that his father, Lacey, and his sister Agatha have been imprisoned because of what he's done. He, of course, cannot live with that, him being in comfort and happiness in Italy in the fresh open air with someone he loves, while his father and sister are being punished. So he goes back to France, and of course the merchant finds this just like a perfect turn of circumstances, and he eventually figures out that someone has revealed his place of residence to authorities that would want to detain him and charge him of his crimes again and of escaping prison. So he quickly leaves Italy, and he plans to have Safie come with him at a later point. But she, of course, doesn't want to do that, and she endeavors to get out of Italy, get to Germany, figure out where Felix and his family are now residing in a cottage, and that's how Safie came to be with them. They came to be in the cottage after a certain amount of time. Even though Felix went back to try and help his father and sister, they were still kept imprisoned for several months, and due to that they lost their fortune. That's why they are impoverished and living in this cottage in Germany. And this all being the case also explains why Felix is the most upset when the creature first encounters them. And not only is Felix upset because his family's impoverished and it's kind of his fault, but also he is not with the person who he loves. She seems like she's completely out of reach for him, probably thinks he'll never see her again. Let's see if there's anything I missed. Along Safie's journey to find them, her attendant died, and so Safie was left alone. And then she had been with an Italian that was helping get her to the place that they were headed, and so even though she doesn't know the language, she was able to repeat that, and a kind woman made sure that Safie would arrive safely to the cottage where her love was residing. So that's chapter 14 of Frankenstein. If you are using these summary videos, if you're watching, please make sure to subscribe. It really helps me be able to put the time into this YouTube channel. And also make sure to share with friends or classmates that may also be benefiting. And let's see, comment your thoughts on the chapter, like the video, unless of course you didn't like it, then you don't have to do that. So anyway, I'm rambling now. I'll let you go. Thanks for watching. Come back around for more content.